Spuds and Buttons. I'm Vicky and this is Catmon Crafts. And this is Is It Finished Friday. So I'm kind of surrounded by heaps of, well, everything. But there are reasons, which I will come to later. So, I've just remembered that I need to get a new battery for my clicker, so there's going to be a lot of leaning in and out, unfortunately, because the battery's died. But we move. So, yes. Normally I do all my everything downstairs, sometimes upstairs, which is why I've got a telly and a kettle thing up here. It depends on my mood, really. Well, now that summer's coming, I must start spending more time up here. But yes, despite me burbling on about time pressures, I have, on the day of recording, I am waiting for a test pattern to come through. A pattern test. So I've moved all of my extraneous projects upstairs, which is why you can't see it, but there's this huge heap going on down here. But we shall plod on, because in 2 weeks things will start going back downstairs again. I could hear someone meowing, however, no, excuse me, bear with. Sorry, Tyler wanted to come in, because of course she did. So, I'll briefly tell you about that. So, yes, this test pattern requires, it's a t-shirt of some description, and it requires 2 colours in a DK. So I bought some DK in these colours. More details about which I'll tell you later. And then I reached the conclusion that I also had these. Now, none of them, sadly, despite my best efforts and a wet blocking, got gauge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unpick my swatches later and hold the creamy colour with the burgundy, because that's a colour change, and the 2 sort of tealies together. So the creamy colour change shenanigans is Katia Paraíso, which is 100% cotton. Do we have any other information? Of course we don't. Colour 50. 360 metres, 393 yards, 100 grams, 3.5 ounces, It's not really a DK, it's more of a sport. So that is going to be held with the burgundy, and with the bluey green, I've got Lion Brand Trubu, 100% bamboo, 100 grams, 3.5 ounces, 220 meters, 241 yards, in the colourway Wave. And of course there's a bin liner. And to go with it, I'm not going to tell you this in haul, but I'm not going to. I'm going to do it now because I can. Oh, we have, excuse the bag, both same details. So I'll show you this one and read off this one. Stylecraft Naturals bamboo and cotton, 100 grams. This one is mulberry. This one is deep sea. 60% bamboo, 40% cotton. It says it's a DK weight. I don't think so. It's 250 meters, 273 yards. How big is the ball? 100 grams. And I think they will all look smashing together. But they need to go back downstairs. What's taking a nosedive? Absolutely nothing. Okay. Well, my ball of green has vanished. Oh, it's rolled even further. So, on to the rest of the yarny goodness. New starts. I started the bag from box 46, I want to say. Yep, box 46 of Crochet Society. But not using all of the colours. I've used base. I'm using a 3mm hook. I'm using the provided base and the provided dark blue, but then I'm switching to the royal blue that Thing 2 got me for Christmas. And just battering out all the rows in this. And then the top bit, the bordery bits and whatnot, will be in navy again, but I've also got some of the pale blue just in case. T-shirt. Which bag is that in? What are you? Oh, you're mine. Oh. Sorry, I am normally far more organised. Oh. So yes, with the other yarn that Thing 2 bought me for Christmas, I've started a t-shirt. I've done precisely that. It's a basic raglan tee, top down, on 2.25 needles, and I am using the tutorial from Emma at Made in a Moment. So yeah, huge project on that. Project? Progress. yarns that I was gifted from someone who gifted it to my knit group. I have made a start on a hood, and I can't remember whose tutorial it is, so I need to look. But this is going to be coupled with Bag O' Days poncho jumper. The family said it looks kind of chainmail-y, and I have to say I agree. But you know, for a medieval historian, fantastic. The yarn I'm using for this is, I'm so sorry, next door's dog is just going completely yappy for some reason. Rowan Summer Tweed, 70% silk, 30% cotton, hand wash normal, iron low heat, dry clean in P, do not triangle, do not tumble dry, dry flat in shade. 50 grams, we're not getting meterage, it recommends a 5mm crochet hook. Approximate length 120 meters, 131 yards, and this is Storm. I believe this is discontinued. And I have many balls. What is this? There's one in there. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So predominantly the jumper and the hood are going to be made out of that, but I've got some happy mail to go in there. And then the blizzard blanket. Oh, excuse me, where's my coffee? If you remember, I won a giveaway from Jude at Llamas in Pyjamas, and I said I was going to make the blanket with the white, but have to get a different colourway for the contrast, because red's not really my colour. So I've got that, and I'll show you it in haul. But I made a start on that, and this is where I am so far on the first panel. Now that I've got the hang of this colour changing malarkey, it's actually quite easy. But the problem that I had was reading the grid. I kept on losing which line I was on. So in the interim, I'd written down the colour changes, but I have since got a little desk stand document holder thing with a flappy doodad that you can move up and down, so I can, sorry, Tyler was watching my hand going, so I can see what line I'm on. So once I finish this test make, that's going to be back downstairs. Although I will keep the yarn out for haul, although it is attached. Come back. No, God, they're both attached. You know what, I'll just grab a different one. So, that's it for New Stars. Right, whips, although again heavily paused while this test make is afoot. first of all, which I then paused to do the blizzard blanket, is my swirly cakes blanket. I am now on, or was on, the third row of 11. This thing is going to be absolutely humongous, and I know you can't really tell that there is an order in which I'm putting the squares together, but actually there is. I've got brights, pastels, purples and aquas which haven't made an appearance yet. So this is hibernating until I finish the blizzard. Use your words. Blizzard blanket. And then there's my Hexie jumper. Okay, this bag was gifted as a project bag by my lovely friend Richie. Hello, darling. Love you. So, last time we spoke, I was still on the first hexagon. So I've added that much. Now that doesn't look like a right lot in a fortnight, but don't forget it is getting bigger. I've got a colour, I've changed to, this is Spring Garden, this is Purple Mist. But I've also made a decision. I'm going to use this for cuffs, borders and other things. And this is Wheel of Yarn Mega Ball, 100% acrylic, 400 grams, 14.1 ounces, 1,200 meters, 1,312 yards. It is a DK 3 weight. Got this from Hobie. It is 100% acrylic. Recommends a 4 to 5 millimeter hook, which is a G2H apparently, or a 4 to 4.5 knitting needles. Machine wash on 40, you can iron, dry clean using P and do not triangle. And it is colour 412. It looks more blue, but it's a gorgeous teeny colour. So yes, I looked on YouTube for tutorials for a sweater, jumper, pullover, and I couldn't find one I liked. I'm undecided yet as to whether I'm going to turn it into a hoodie, but if I do, I don't know how I'm going to do it. But I've also got a front stripe and a back stripe, and what I'm going to do is 2 panels. I've got another 12 rounds to do, and then if the sleeves need any more length, I'm going to add length. And I'm going to join, but I'm going to put a wedge in the shoulders so it's not just like a slit neckline. And that's going to be in the teal. And then a neckline, cuffs in teal, add length. If this needs an extra length, I'll do extra length on this. If the hexies need extra length to match this, I'll put some extra length in on the hexies and then make it a bit longer and do a bottom ribbing thing. Oh God, it's leaking everywhere. Oh, it's actually coming from the bag. Never mind, it's still very pretty. So, what doth next? I know what doth next. Finished objects. I have 2 Tile of the Weeks. Now, I was working from that booklet, but I put it down somewhere and I cannot find it. So I've gone back to the original book and I'm just doing some random squares until we get to the squares, panels, tiles that I want to join in on. I can't remember which is which, but this one I used my Caron Simply Soft and a 5mm hook, and this one is a Lion Brand Mandala Ombre in the grey, and Lion Brand Sesame Street One Hat Wonder Abby Kidabby for the flower. So they can go in their drawer. I also finished my axolotl that I started for Monday Grooming in March. His antennae are a bit wonky, but he's kind of cute, I think. And his arms are a bit wonky. Never mind. I made, out of my comfort yarn, an emotional support chicken. I showed you this in Whips last time. The axolotl doesn't have a name, by the way. So if anybody wants to name him, go for your life. Sopetia, that's it. So Sopetia is now finished. Obviously the yarn arrived. So her little comb doodad is in brown and her little beak is in yellow. And they are also then going to go into my comfort blanket. I finished my dumpling bag. I got to there. So I've just like literally finished the orange and then voila. Little portable bag. Portable bag. You know what I mean. I'm undecided as to whether I'm going to line this or not. But it's probably only going to be a little project bag. Actually, no, I don't think I will, because I'm going to be using it for my tiny cross stitching. And finally, the big finish. The hooded cowl. Last time we spoke, I had just started the cowly bit. No gun all the way up to the top, and then because I'm me, got a massive tassel. So, in theory, and I do need to take a photo of this. So, it goes on. You fight your way through. Hello. And because of how wide I've made it, I can zhuzh it down to over my shoulders. And either it's a really chunky cowl or it's a hood. And if you look, I deviated from the regular pattern and just did a fan around the edge. And this will do for my photo. I absolutely love it. It is so toasty warm. So the darker stuff and the tassel is the gorgeous yarn I received from lovely Sam at Manfers Makes, and the lighter is Lion Brand Mandala Ombre in Chi. I'm going to take this off now because it's actually roasting. And I can take my stitch marker off. So that's my finished object, which I will all put away. So moving on. Hauls. I told you I was going to tell you all about the yarn for the Blizzard blanket. It is Red Hot Super Saver in the colourway Grape Fizz, or in French Raisin Pétillant, and in Spanish Efervescencia de Uva. And it's got gorgeous blues and purples and pinks. This is 5 ounces, 141 grams, 36 yards, 115 meters. Got a yarn inspirations pattern on the inside, maybe. No, it doesn't. Just tells you where you can find them. It's a 4-weight, recommends a 5.5 crochet hook or an I9. Wash at 40. What do you mean? Tumble dry low, do not iron, do not triangle. And I got that from Wool Warehouse, and I got 11 rolls of it, I think, just to be on the safe side. It's a very nice yarn. It works up really nicely. Doesn't split, isn't snaggy. I wouldn't necessarily say I'd wear it for clothes. I'd use it for wearables even. But it does make a good blanket, although I am, for next year, if I've got enough left, planning a hat. Because I think it would make excellent hat and amigurumi. And then, Happy Mail. So, I got my winnings from the lovely Joanna at 2 Crochet Curious. Yes. I did open it because I just wanted to play. There is a little card that says thanks, and it's got Joanna's YouTube link. And the card says, "Dear Cat Mum Crafts, thank you for your support and all you do to make the YouTube streets fun and crafty. Blessings, Joanna, to Crochet Curious." And there's some stickers. I don't know why, but it does seem that we yarny people and crafty people in general do seem to enjoy a good sticker. So there is a sloth, which is fabulous because I am team sloth. Everything takes forever. There's a little treat dog thing. There's a coo. Ah, come back. There's a sticker that says, "Make it happen." And a rooster, chicken, bird of some description. So there's some lovely stickers. And the card and a little thank you will go in my little bits from friends papercraft booklet that I spent as my one proper foray into paper crafting. Joanne also sent this gorgeous squishy basket, which I keep petting. And I will read off this one. Oh, hello. Oh, collapse. I will read off this one and show you the others. So this is Premier Anti-Pilling Everyday Medley. Light new wash after wash. It is 219 yards, 200 metres, 3.5 ounces, 100 grams, 100% anti-pilling acrylic, Architects 100, medium 4, recommends a 4.5mm crochet hook, 4.5 needles. Machine wash warm, tumble dry. Do not iron, do not triangle, dry cleaning P. And this one is the colour Rust. Now that is going in my small Harry Potter bag for hooking at Hogwarts. And then the other colours are same stats. This one is Rose. This one is Forest. And this one is Upside Down. This one is Hunter Marble. And these are the contrasting colours that I'm going to use with the, where has it gone? Over there. With the poncho hood. I think they go quite nicely. So that can now go away, and the basket I need to find a home for. So it can just go on my shelf for now. So, plans going forward. My jumper is trying to escape. My mug today, by the way, says, questions asked whilst counting stitches will be answered with louder counting, which is a fairly standard thing in my house. I'll be sat there going, and then somebody will ask a question and I'll go, 15! And I'm sure that's given the fact that I just randomly found that mug. Fairly standard. So yes, plans. It's going to be quite quiet on the existing yarn front. Not the existing yarn, the existing projects front, because I've got this test pattern make that we've got 2 weeks from when it's released. So yep, obviously I will be continuing with my temperature blanket and my tile of the week, but the next update you're getting is the end of the month, so I'll have an Impkin to show you. Will I have an Impkin? Yes, I will. My temperature blanket, my movie marquee, and my Boggy Creek blanket. So it won't be entirely dull and boring, I promise. And I'm recording on the Wednesday, as you're seeing this on the Friday. So yeah. Thinking. Yes. The test pattern is due to be the pattern for testing is due to be released today. So there's that. Right. Finally, who have I been watching? I am going to go through all my people who I'm subscribed to. They're in alphabetical order, so I'm afraid if you're at the far end of the alphabet, you're going to be last. But then once I've done anybody new I find, I will mention. Everybody will be linked below, as will Sam at Mumford Makes and Jude at Llamas in Pyjamas. So I have been watching Too Crochet Curious, Too Old to Care, A Square Granny, Amethyst Craftworks, An Alaskan Crafter, Alt Knots and Ancestral Craft. Now I don't know how many of you would know about Ancestral Craft. Everybody else, I think you probably know. But Ancestral Craft, she's Scottish, she's from Edinburgh, and she does a lot of very old-fashioned-y things. She's also a gardener, so she knows her plants and stuff. Yeah, she knits, she spins. She's not uploaded for a while. But she does, when she uploads, it's a lovely long video, and she's got a lovely voice, and you can just sit and chillax to watching her. And that's my cross stitch tail note, so yes. So that's that. So next update video will be B's and possibly C's, because there's quite a lot of C's, I think. So yes, it'll be mainly make-alongy stuff next week, I think. Not next week, next time. So, with that in mind, look after yourselves, please, because if you don't look after yourselves, you can't look after anybody else, and that is both physically and mentally. And, you know, I would miss you if you were poorly and not here. In the immortal words of Bill and Ted, be excellent to one another, and as ever, love you 9000.